When she first announced that she would be joining the, dark side of the internet, Drea de Matteo signing up for an OnlyFans account. You probably know her as Adriana from The Sopranos, back in the cut. I said that it's probably not the best course of actions, definitely not something that, hey, a well-established actress need be doing. It's also pointing to a bunch of other shortcomings in life, but hey, Godspeed, but then also understand that, with short-term money comes long-term problems, and lo and behold, we're not but, a couple of months removed from that, and, well, she's just digging in the old trick bag, the exact same playbook. The hardware might be different, but the software remains the same with these chicks, guys. I cannot drive this home strongly and more consistently enough. But Drea de Matteo blasts conservative commentator, the old Pim Tool. He's a conservative? Is that what we're going with here? After he called the Soprano star she's a hooker for joining OnlyFans. Stop taking shots at struggling single. You're 52. You were on the greatest, no caveats needed, the greatest television show that is still run in syndication. You still get residuals. You could not parlay that great success of a beloved character into anything else after that, and you had to resort to the oldest profession on earth in order to make a buck. No. Society cannot do anything to curtail or hold women accountable, curtail their sexuality, or hold a mirror up to their own decisions. No, you're not allowed to do that because the sisterhood uber alles will come out in full force. Tim, for as many problems as I have with him, as has been well documented throughout the course of my channel, is not wrong in this situation. Okay, what was the full context of what he had to say here? There's nothing wrong with being a hooker. Why are you acting like it's an insult? It's literally the only thing I said about it. But as you can see, well, you can't see that, but I could just go ahead and read that. You could probably see that. But Tim Pool can all the way off for calling my girl Drea, my queen Drea, a hooker. She said in a video that which featured an OnlyFans filter over her face. Not that there's anything wrong with being a hooker, but that's what she is, and how dare you call something in a defamatory way for having an OnlyFans account, and then goes on to be very derogatory. But as somebody else is pointing out right here, yeah, women calling Lizzo beautiful and inspiring women when you tell them they look like Lizzo. But I thought you said that it's beautiful and inspiring. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Sex work is real work, and then when you call somebody a sex worker, they take great offense to that. Very interesting where we find ourselves, but like I said, man, I called it at the beginning, me and many other people out there, it's not hard to find this pattern recognition. Soprano star Drea de Matteo has torn into conservative commentator Tim Pool after he called her a hooker for joining OnlyFans. Well, what's the definition of being a hooker? Engaging in certain types of activities for the exchange of money. What do people do on OnlyFans? Oh, well, it seems to fit the definition, doesn't it? The actress 52 accused Tim Pool of 38. Oh, he's 4 years older than me, huh? Anyways, of targeting struggling single moms. No, just you. And said he was part of America's hypocrisy problem. What hypocrisy problem? I don't see anything hypocritical about calling a hooker a hooker. The former Real Housewives of New York star Leah McSweeney. Oh, here comes the sisterhood baby, who has collaborated with De Matteo on OnlyFans. Oh, great. I need to see 100 years of combined experience on one screen. Ugh. Also weighed in on Pool, told him to, F off the entire way. Stop calling us what we are because we can't control our own emotions and we're not responsible for our own decisions. Cool. Pool is one of the most successful conservative commentators on YouTube. Whether they're calling him a conservative is very interesting because, like I said, I'm no fan of Tim Pool. I used to be a big fan, would watch nightly, but started to grind on me, so I just decided to, take bits and pieces of his format. Thought I could do it better, so I just naturally fell off. But when the man has a good point, point out when the man has a good point. Drama started when Pool responded to an article about De Matteo's astronomical earnings on OnlyFans. It's interesting, right? You don't want to just simply shake it off. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Take the standard approach because you're already taking another one. You're attacking single moms, but what about those other hookers that are on the platform as well that are out there saying, oh, well, if you want to try to shame me for my kids, it's like, well, I guess I can just cry in a Ferrari. Why didn't you want to take that approach? But yes, posting on X, women deciding to be hookers instead of having jobs is an arc I didn't expect feminism to take. No, that's actually the natural course of events that I would expect feminism to take. because it was always about having equal access to the workforce, right? That was one of their initial claims, even though that was not at all what they were going for. But let's just say in a colloquial sense, that's what feminism was always trying to push for: equal access. Women and men and women are equal, and blah, 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 and all that nonsense. Then once they got that access by hook or by crook or by bombing a few buildings, take a look at what the suffragettes were actually up to. They figured out that work was like really hard, so they just decided to monetize their looks. And now that OnlyFans has given them the opportunity to do as much from the comfort of their own home, they would take the path of least resistance. It's really not that hard to figure that this was naturally where we'd all end up at. But okay, yeah, women deciding to become hookers instead of having a job is an arc. I expected feminism to take him just quote tweeting, yeah, Barstool Sports, highlighting that Drea de Matteo made more in 1 month on OnlyFans than on Sopranos. Oh my god, that's sad. Furious, De Matteo then fired back, well, I'm glad Timcast clarified that I'm a hooker, and he's something that she shows off to amass a disproportionate amount of wealth. Okay. She added, keep saving America with your big influential platform by taking cheap shots at struggling single moms, tough guy. Super cool skater shit, bro. But yes, the Soprano star defiantly signed the post as the hooker of Hollywood. She's taking things well. I don't know, I didn't think that like the menopausal category of OnlyFans was really popping like that, but I guess even just, you know, a modicum amount of star power really does translate over there. Cool kept the clash going, writing back, yeah, because he's ultimately, I don't know, he's definitely a Twitter, not a rage baiter, not really a grifter. I think those terms get used way too much for people that are, maybe on Twitter, Tim Pool's a grifter. Maybe I could go that far. In so much as that he just continues to try to farm engagement by just having some of the dumbest takes imaginable. Like I said, when the guy's right, you know, he's right, and you kind of got to point it out. But he has a very different persona on Twitter as opposed to where he has everywhere else. What did he have to say in response? I don't see what it would be so offensive to point out that selling sex on OnlyFans is hooking. What's the point? What about pointing out that women are quitting their jobs to sell work, to do sex work is, you know, the demonetizable word worthy. Continued, y'all should be proud of the work you do. Now, to be fair, I never explicitly called you a hooker because maybe you just post selfies on OnlyFans or something. Well, come on, it's OnlyFans. You already have the stigma over the top of it. If she's worried about shaming single mothers, gotta understand the context that will be thrust upon you for, you know, being on that platform. To be fair, I'm implicitly calling you and women who use OnlyFans hookers. From there, the married mom of two, De Matteo, headed to Instagram to take Pool to task. You don't really need to go back and forth with this tete-a-tete because they're both just going to end up being completely and totally ridiculous, and she's just going to end up shilling her OnlyFans, making more money off of the people that hate Tim Pool and really want to stick it to Tim or her or somewhere in between, but basically both of them by driving up engagement on Twitter and driving people as using this as a sales funnel to off-platform membership sites. Like, they're both going to be winning at the end of this, okay? And this isn't a unique situation because here you have Iggy Azalea. You remember the I'm so fancy? Because I was going to say famous, but it was the fancy chick. She's a single mom too, and she quit music. Well, even though the music industry quit her a long time ago. And now she's just an exclusive OnlyFans creator. Like, this is the cycle, man. Like I said, it's not surprising at all whatsoever what feminism has led us to in regards to its ultimate end game being digital hooking, if you want to put even just that little bit of a descriptor over the top of it. But just the open and unabashed hatred of simps that are down there. There she is, flicking off the camera. Obviously, it's been censored, but, you know, she's throwing up the one finger salute, son. But just brazenly having I love lying to men on her crop top, on her baby tee, I don't know, in front of her thousands of dollars of high-end fashion material, lying on the ground with her used up legs in the air, putting money to her head, trying to get a closer association with the rest of the work that she's had done. But I mean, you see chicks like this just brazenly hating on the people that they take the money from. Like, you want to talk about the end of feminism? Because we already got there when it came to the job description and the acts that they're doing. But as many people as opined on this situation, I might as well clarify it one final time, because men and women who engage in those industries, in the sex work trade, from a female's perspective, if they're a dancer, digital hooker, whatever you want, okay, end up seeing the worst aspect, the darkest aspect of simp beta behavior. And then they end up extrapolating that out to the larger male population and unironically start to adopt the position that I love lying to men. They hate men because all they see them is as lesser individuals, as people worthy of being lied to, people that you can openly and brazenly lie to and still get away with it. And then when it comes to men engaging with these sex workers, all you see is the worst aspect of female nature, thinking that if you can go ahead and exchange goods and services in order to get box, you miss out on what it means to learn game, go through the courting process, work on yourself, to achieve genuine burning desire. I don't know what the solution is, because nobody's going to appoint me God Emperor of the Earth, so we just have to deal with the world the way that it is, and, well, calling hookers, I think that's a good place to start. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.